You are surrounded by 8 million people. You step onto a packed subway car. Someone's shoulder brushes yours. You stare at the floor. Why do you feel completely and utterly alone? It seems like a modern curse. You blame social media. You blame the cold concrete architecture. But the real answer is far stranger. Your loneliness isn't a malfunction of modern city life. It is a finely tuned survival mechanism designed for a world that disappeared 10,000 years ago. Your brain thinks you are stranded in the middle of a hostile wilderness. Let us travel backward in time. For 99% of human history, you lived in a small clan. You knew every face. You knew who to trust with your life. You knew who was a liability. Your survival depended entirely on these precise social connections. If the clan cast you out, you died. This brings us to the work of anthropologist Dr. Robin Dunbar. He famously discovered that the human brain can only maintain about 150 stable relationships. This is known as Dunbar's number. It is the hard limit of your evolutionary software. Your neocortex simply lacks the processing power to track more individuals. What happens when you exceed this limit? You enter the modern metropolis. You walk down a busy avenue. You pass 3,000 strangers in a single 10-minute walk. Your ancient brain tries to process them all. It scans every face for threats. It looks for familiar allies. It finds absolutely nothing but blanks. How does your biology react to this? It panics. To your evolutionary programming, being surrounded by people you do not know is the ultimate danger sign. In the Pleistocene epoch, a crowd of strangers meant an invading tribe. It meant conflict. It meant you were exposed and vulnerable. Psychologist Dr. John Cacioppo spent decades studying the biological effects of this specific state. He discovered that loneliness activates the exact same neural pathways as physical pain. It is an alarm system. When you feel lonely in a crowd, your brain is screaming at you to find your tribe. It releases cortisol into your bloodstream. Your blood pressure rises. You enter a state of hypervigilance. Have you ever noticed how defensive you feel on a crowded bus? You put on headphones. You avoid eye contact at all costs. This is not because you are antisocial. It is because your brain is trying to protect you from an overwhelming amount of social data. You are forcing an organism built for a quiet savanna into a chaotic sensory storm. Consider the famous study by Dr. Stanley Milgram on city psychology. He formulated the concept of urban overload. Milgram argued that to survive the sheer volume of inputs in a city, you must learn to conserve your psychic energy. You do this by ignoring inputs that do not directly affect you. You treat other human beings as scenery. You become an island. But this defense mechanism comes at a devastating cost. By treating everyone else as a background object, you ensure that they treat you the same way. You are a ghost moving through a world of ghosts. You see thousands of lives interacting around you. You are entirely excluded from them. This creates a strange psychological paradox. In a small village, everyone looks at you. Your actions matter to the collective. In a massive city, nobody looks at you. You possess total freedom. Yet that freedom feels remarkably like insignificance. Do you actually want to be invisible? The truth is that proximity does not equal connection. You can be physically touching another human being on a train while being light years away from them emotionally. Your brain measures safety through depth, not density. It needs to know that someone cares if you disappear tomorrow. We often think that building more public spaces will solve this crisis. We build parks, we open cafes, we design plazas meant to bring people together. But physical structures cannot override millions of years of evolutionary biology. If you do not know the names of the people in the plaza is just a beautiful desert. So you return to your apartment. You lock the door behind you. The silence feels heavy. You look out the window at the glowing skyline. You see thousands of other windows lit up in the dark. Inside every single one of those rooms, someone else is looking out at the city. They are feeling the exact same ache that you are feeling right now. You are all sharing the exact same isolation. You are connected by the very thing that separates you. Your loneliness is the proof of your humanity. It is the ancient voice of your ancestors begging you to find a home. You step back onto the packed subway car tomorrow morning. Someone's shoulder brushes yours. You look at the crowd. You feel lonely, but now you know why.